The Canadian road trip is a complete failure, as we got swept in the Canadian road trip before going back to America, to Detroit, Michigan. And we go to Ottawa, the capital of Canada, and we lost 3-0 to the Ottawa Senators. And you know what? Give credit. I mean, Anton Forsberg. We don't often play against Forsberg. At least I don't think we do. But he shut out the Florida Panthers. 40 save shutouts against the Panthers. And Bobrovsky, had himself an awful night. Actually, it's not even a nighttime game. It was a day game. Bobrovsky against Anton Forsberg. Dude, the Panthers offense worries the heck out of me. I mean, you have that debacle against Montreal, which Montreal fans were really delightful, saying that I don't know much about hockey, even though I watched the game. Okay, so what if I miss one key point? One key point that I flat out miss. Everybody misses key points once in a while. Does that necessarily mean they don't know the game? No, it happens. I'm a human being. You're a human being too. I don't think that's well deserved. But against Ottawa, completely different. Just the offense could not get the puck into the back of the net. And even if they were close to doing so, the penetration, Forsberg stopped the penetration. He was able to do that. And he made some wild saves. He stopped Bennett. He stopped Reinhardt. He stopped Samsonov, Marchand. He stopped them all. Without Barkov, makes this a little bit more difficult. But even without Barkov, our offense struggles. Or even with Barkov, our offense still struggled as of late. So, really, no excuse. Because the Panthers are capable of winning games shorthanded. They just can't. Right now, they're ice cold. Maybe it's good that they're ice cold now, because come in a few weeks, when they do eventually make the playoffs, spoiler alert, they did. I'll make a separate video. Maybe they can finally wake up and then start to click, and then go on a little bit of a run. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up at this point. This situation worries me. It has that similar situation with last year, because late in the season last year, the Panthers were having problems scoring, having problems trying to even get a win. So, I don't know. Anyway, back to the game. Balinskis tries to snapshot, but that was stopped by Forsberg. No surprise there. Dylan Cozens trips Samsonov. Florida goes on a power play, and that power play, during that power play, Nate Schmidt with the slap shot that was stopped by Forsberg. Nico Mikkola, right when the power play ends, he wrist shots, but Forsberg stopped that one. That is a 2 shots on target power play, and that power play is killed off. So nothing to talk about there. And then the goal happened. He is assisted by Shane Pinto. That's his 15th assist of the season. And off the snapshot, it's Jake Sanderson with his 11th goal of the season. That is all on Seth Jones. Seth Jones with the puck, and he gives it away to Pinto, and Pinto is able to find Sanderson, and Sanderson shuts it home. Stay classy. Stay classy. That was a outrageous turnover to Pinto to give up a 1-0 lead like that. Verhaeghe now trips Stützle. So Ottawa goes on the power play. During that power play, Drake Batherson with the wrist shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky. And Batherson, I don't know how he did not make that in. But that net was wide open, and that puck went through the blue crease to the right side. That should have went in. He would eventually get this goal, as he is assisted by Sanderson. That's his 42nd assist of the season. And Dylan Cozens, that's his 27th assist of the season. He shot that puck, but then it redirects to Drake Batherson, who tries to get it in twice in this power play. Ultimately, this tip-in, he was able to do so. 2-0 Ottawa from Batherson. And just like that, the Panthers are down 2-0. It's a power play goal. Sammy with the wrist shot that was stopped by Forsberg. Excuse me. Then Nicholas Montepallo with the slash against AJ Greer. And AJ Greer boarded hard on his back to the boards. And this is your classic Florida and Ottawa rivalry. Good old classic beat each other ups. But only a slashing call is called against Montepallo. So Florida goes on the power play. During this power play, Sam Bennett with the wrist shot that was stopped by Forsberg. Samson Kevin tries a wrist shot as well. That was stopped by Forsberg as well. Then we go to second period, down 2-0 while having this power play. And when the power play was able to continue, and it no longer became a power play as Bennett trips Matthew Highmore. So it'll be a 4-on-4 for a little bit, and it will be an Ottawa power play. During that power play, there was a breakaway chance from Jesper Boquist. He tries the backhand, but that was a great save by Forsberg. And this power play is this type power play is killed off. There was no shot on target in Ottawa's power play right there. So only one shot on target came from the Florida Panthers shorthanded. Still lead. I think we still lead the league in shorthanded. We have not had a shorthanded goal in a while, and Sam Reinhart hasn't had a shorthanded in a while either. But that was rough. Samsakevich tries to wrap around Forsberg to stop that one. AJ Greer, thankfully, he was okay from that hit, a slash, and then crashing into the board. He came back. He tries to snap it home, but that was stopped by Forsberg. And Ottawa barely gets any shot in until Thomas Chabot, but that was stopped by Bobrovsky. Arden Zub with the slash against Carter Verhaeghe. So Florida goes on the power play again. One shot on target from Nate Schmidt with the wrist shot that was stopped by Forsberg, and another power play is killed off. Claude Giroux with the wrist shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky. Yeah, I remember Claude Giroux. And AJ Greer tries to penetrate the puck, and Forsberg stopped that penetration, and the fight broke loose. Everyone's beating the crap out of each other. No calls, though. Verhaeghe with the boarding, and that looked like a frustration penalty against Arden Zub. It is a boarding call on Verhaeghe. Ottawa goes on the power play. During that power play, Drake Batherson with the wrist shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky. Dylan Cousins with the wrist shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky as well. This power play is killed off. They stopped that power play at least. And third period starts. Still down 2-0. Florida shooting the puck a lot more than Ottawa does. They outshot them by many, many, many shots. But they could not get the puck to the back of the net. That's the Panthers' problem. Bennett starts off with the wrist shot. That was stopped by Forsberg, Mikula, Lundell, Thomas Nosek, AJ Greer with the backhand. Nearly all the Panthers players tries to shoot the puck past Forsberg. And once again, stopped all the pucks. Cruikshank with the wrist shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky. Forsling even, but he gets blocked by his own teammate. Great. Lundell, Balinskis with the wrist shot, but that was stopped by Forsberg. I mean, too many close chances for Florida. Really. Drake Batherson with the wrist shot, that was stopped by Bobrovsky. And Florida shots were being blocked by Ottawa. A lot of blocked shots. Ottawa's looking to get into playoffs. They're playing inspired hockey right now. And then a fight broke loose. And then, I forgot to mention, in the second period, there would be a goal, There would be a goal from the Florida Panthers player. I forgot who it was, but it was disallowed for a high stick. So that freaking sucked. Anyway, back to the third period. 12:34 into the third period, there was a high stick, and a fight broke loose, which would then lead to an unsportsmanlike conduct for Nico Mikkola and Ridley Gregg. So those players have an unsportsmanlike conduct. So it become, as far as I remember, a 4-on-4. Forsling with the wrist shot that was stopped by Forsberg. Lundell with the wrist shot as well. And, the penalties are killed off there as far as I can tell. Shabbat with the wrist shot. David Perrin with the wrist shot as well. Both times were stopped by Bobrovsky. And by this point, you pull Bobrovsky up pretty early. And needless to say, they made it 3-0. He's assisted by Thomas Shabbat with his 30th assist of the season. And off the snapshot is Matthew Highmore. His second goal of the season. Only his second goal of the season, Highmore. To make it 3-0, Ottawa. Balinskis, absolutely a frustration penalty. Absolutely. Against Angus Crookshank. Ottawa goes on a power play. And this was absolutely a needless power play. A fight broke loose as well. A fight broke loose during that during that sequence. And Ottawa comes away with the power play. AJ Greer, during this power play first, Klaus Schru with the backhand that was stopped by Bobrovsky. And then AJ Greer and Tim Stützle with going at it against each other. As well as Jonah Gadjovich. A fight broke loose, and there he is, your classic Florida and Ottawa rivalry fights. Classic. AJ Greer gets called for a roughing, and Tim Stützle gets called for misconduct. AJ Greer also gets a misconduct, and Gadjovich, who is involved with this fight, also gets a misconduct. All of them were ejected from the game. So roughing call for AJ Greer is served by Carter Verhaeghe. And in the end, Ottawa comes away with a 5-on-3 power play. Tyler Clevin with the slap shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky. The first penalty by Balinskis ends. He comes off. Ottawa sits with the rest of the power play for the rest of the game. David Perrin with the wrist shot. Nick Jensen with the wrist shot. And Bobrovsky stopped them both. But in the end, Florida gets shut out in Ottawa 3-0 against Senators. Just tuck our tails and just run away back to America. Anyway, 40 shots on target. All of them were stopped by Forsberg. Okay, Bobrovsky, 20 saves out of 22. But yet Ottawa has 3 goals. Why? One of them is an empty netter. Ottawa has 5 power play opportunities that got 1 in the first period. 3 power play opportunities for Florida. Nothing, needless to say. Penalties, 8 penalties for Florida. 5 penalties for Ottawa. 32 penalty minutes for Florida. 18 penalty minutes for Ottawa. That's nothing crazy to compare to what we talked about last year, if you remember. 20 block shots for Ottawa, 9 block shots for Florida, 8 takeaways for Ottawa, 6 takeaways for Florida, 14 giveaways for Florida, including one with Seth Jones that ultimately lost us the game. And 11 giveaways for Ottawa, and stars of the game, Anton Forsberg with 1 star, 2 stars goes to Jake Sanderson, and 3 stars goes to Drake Patterson. And I'm done talking about this game. So if you like this video, not the game, hit the like button, subscribe for content, and I will see you guys in the next video regarding this team. Good night.